Hey there, welcome to Pop Culture Cupid.
I'm Alison, love coach, here to help you single people find your way back to love.
And I'm Michal, I'm a single life coach. I help singles embrace themselves and their singleness, as well as develop a healthy self-relationship.
In this podcast, we will look at how pop culture impacts romance, dating, and your love life.
And each week we'll shoot another arrow through another pop culture delusion.
I thought we weren't going to do the whole cheesy thing.
And then burst into smithereens.
Oh my god, dude, that's so cringe!
Sorry, it's in the intro now.
If you make it through the chaos and you enjoy what you hear, please leave a comment, like, subscribe, and go to all the social media.
At Pop Culture Cupid on TikTok, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy!
Okay,
Marty,
got it.
progress.
Yay.
Marty!
Welcome, Marty.
Yeah!
Well, she should say welcome to us because she invited us to Zoom.
Oh, yes. We've gone back to weird, terrible technical difficulties.
Yeah, no, that's okay. I'm your guest. I am your official guest. So I'm here.
Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Well, pleasure.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you for having us on your Zoom. Marty, our listeners will have just had our amazing jingle, so they know us. Please talk about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Marty Ortiz. I am a confidence coach for young women in their 20s. And I do a lot of different approaches with that so that these 20 somethings, and like you just said earlier, I help them figure their shit out, basically. And I just finished saying I should put that on my bio. Maybe, maybe that'll work out a little better. But yeah, so I help them build their confidence. I do that through one-on-one coaching programs. And something that I absolutely love mentioning is the singleness issue, because I have been single for such a long time. So any opportunity that I get to talk about how you are so okay being single, then I will talk about it. So good. I know that's what you girls do. And I love listening to some of the, concepts that you talk about, the shows that you go into and talk about all this singleness that we have to deal with. So so that's what I do.
That's amazing.
Yeah, welcome, thanks. I think it's, I think the three of us, we kind of like have a trajectory for young women where you start by being in your 20s and figuring it out, and then being single and owning it, things like that, and then getting into a relationship, and how, all of it is just the journey. And there's nothing about, the end game where your life has to look like a certain way, just because that's just so completely wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a major topic, is kind of being on your own path, figuring it out for yourself. Yes, figure it out, but not figure it out to someone else's like image of what that's supposed to look like. Like, do it for yourself, do it on your own, and don't be in a rush, because I feel like so many of these 20 somethings, they're comparing all the time. They're comparing to someone who's older. They're comparing to other 20 somethings who might not be the norm. And so there's all this pressure. And so the coaching really focuses in on, let's focus on you. Let's focus on what you're doing. Let's focus on what you want to do with your own life. And let's forget about, all those external factors, even though it's really hard. So that's where I come in and I guide them. And, they start building those new mindsets to get us to think, yes, I can do this. No, I don't have to do it that way. Yes, I'm on my own path, and pick up from there.
Yeah. I think our 20s is also when we need it most. It's like, because that's like the age where, I think also when you're in your teenhood, but like when you're in your 20s, you're sort of half an adult, but you're still sort of like figuring things out and you have no idea. And society is a big thing, social media is a big thing, friendships are a big thing, and what everyone's doing is a big thing. So it's like trying to figure out in all that noise where you are. And I think it's just a bit ridiculous how you grow up with society's pressure, and you think that you need to do XYZ by this age or that age or whatever it is, and then you have to spend a whole chunk of your life trying to reverse that and learn a new path, your path, the right path for you, and not what everyone dictates. So I think I wish everyone had, someone advocating for them, especially in your 20s, before you get to that. I love the journey that I had in my life. I think it was incredible, but part of me does wish that I had that person in my 20s, that I wouldn't have wasted it away on just relationship hopping and conforming to society's norms and things like that. And I think we need more of that in the world right now.
Yes, I agree. I totally agree. You said advocating for ourselves, but also have that person to advocate for them. Because I think the support part is super important here, because sometimes we're, in our 20s, we kind of, want to fit in. I know that's what I did in college. I was just trying to fit in. So, there were times when I was like, okay, well, maybe this is not the best, group for me, but because I needed to feel like I fit in, to feel like I belonged somewhere, you kind of just separate yourself from what's really important. And so having that person to support you and advocate for you and guide you, I think, is major in your 20s as you're making that transition into adulting that they love saying, right? They're adulting all of a sudden. It's like, what the hell do I do?
So I mean, to be completely honest, I'm 32. I don't feel like I'm adulting really well at all.
I don't think we ever do feel like complete adults. It doesn't.
Yeah, I agree.
I was talking to my dad a while back, but a couple of years ago, where I was telling him, you're like, now you're in your 50s and you're a homeowner and you've got cars and 3 kids and we're all independent. So when did you start feeling like you've got this? And he goes, I'll let you know when it happens. I was like, oh, great.
Yeah.
It's going to be like, you go through those phases, right? Of you want to figure it all out. And then you get to that point where you're figuring it out. And then what's after that? You figure more shit out. It's like a constant process. It's never ending. And in our 20s, especially the girls that I work with, they don't understand that. They think like figuring it out means like something really, really specific. And when they get it, that's when they're going to be able to like themselves or have, that fulfillment or whatever it is that they're after. So it's a really hard concept to grasp of, we're figuring it out as we go, like the whole process.
Yeah. I think to build on that, we get fed, especially as there's preteens and kids, the happily ever after story, and even kind of when we were in our like teens, we were confronted to people who have been in relationships for 30 to 60 years, parents, grandparents, etc. The thing is that we forget that when our grandparents were our age, life expectancy wasn't the same, and general kind of life was not the same. And so you weren't, you were expected to have shit figured out in your 20s, because you were, sadly kind of so much closer to the end, which is a horrible, morbid way of looking at it. But it is just a way of, we didn't realize that we had so much further down the road to look towards, when career wise, money, everything. And so I'm still completely amazed at the fact that we ask our teenagers to figure out what they want to do for the rest of their lives when they're like 14 or 15. It's just that the world just doesn't look like that anymore. And so sure, when you're in your 20s, you can hardly have everything figured out. And one of you said earlier about relationships and things like that, and we were talking about it with JT a couple of days ago, where I don't even though I'm so happy in my relationship now, I don't wish that he was my only one, because if he were, I wouldn't be able to know how good I have it. Do you know, I don't have that comparison of just, wow, I have it so good with him, and only because I've had my past relationships. And it's just a way of saying, you know, you're gonna have your bumps in the road, and don't wish them away. Like, they are, you know, they're gonna make those highs so much higher.
Yeah, JT is Justin Timberlake, by the way.
It's not.
No, it's not Justin. No.
It's a very French name. My boyfriend's name is Jean Thomas, and so I call him JT.
Oh, fun. Okay, that makes it easy.
Yeah,
Justin Timberlake.
Yeah. Well,
so Marty, so you've got 20-year-olds. Is it women and men, or just like women, young women that need to kind of figure it out? And how do they come to you, and what type of problems do you kind of help them navigate? Right.
Yeah, so it's it's only women. It's only women making that transition into, you know, a confident, empowered woman. And usually they come to me because they'll say their confidence is lacking, or, you know, I've been in a relationship. Relationships are really popular. They're talking about, you know, being in a relationship where they don't feel either equal, or they feel like they don't know how to tell their partner that they don't want to be with them anymore, but they're afraid of being alone. That's like a common issue. But I think just in general, it's someone who doesn't feel confident within themselves and feels like they need to really like themselves and accept themselves to be able to go out there and do something that they really want to do. Because a lot of the times they're telling me, you know, I don't think that I can do that, but I'm really unhappy at my job, or I'm really unhappy in my relationship, or, you know, I just don't make the money that I need to make to move out of my parents' house, or, you know, that's really common too. So lots of different issues. Obviously, it's like a huge array of issues that I'm dealing with, but it all boils down to their confidence. Like, what do you want that confidence for? It's either to quit their job and know that they can get something better, quit the relationship that is not good for them, where they're being treated poorly, having the confidence to say, hey, dad, mom, I don't want to study that specific major. I want to do something for myself outside of like the traditional schooling that their parents probably want them to get. So it all boils down to confidence. Like, what do you want that confidence for? And then we start their process of, okay, let's work on this. Like, let's see what we can do with what you have right now. Not what hasn't worked for you in the past. Let's work right now with what you have, where you stand, and let's move forward. So then, of course, I have an individual plan for them, the individual coaching that I do with them, or there's also a group coaching program that I have. And that's where the girls just get together and they figure out that there's other people in this world feeling like they do, which could be, you know, lonely in their journey. They can feel lost. They can feel like they don't have their shit figured out. So that gives them, you know, some